Hi, senior one. Let's complete the lesson. Okay. We stopped until. Okay. We said that the complex sugar, which is the polysaccharide, and we differentiate between complex sugar and simple sugar. We said that the complex sugar, which is the polysaccharide, such as the starch, the cellulose, and the glycogen, this kind of food, which is it's considered as a complex sugar. Why? Because it's insoluble in water, it doesn't dissolve in water, it has a high molecular weight, and it don't have a sweet taste. Okay, type. Let's go to another slide. And also in this video, we detect the presence of the simple sugar by using the Bendick test reagent. Okay, let's revise this again. We said if you add drops of Bendick reagent to a glucose solution and put it in a water bath, what will happen? Its color will change from blue to orange. And we did it many times. We did many experiments to understand how this. If you were going to use with egg albumin, as we said, اللي هو زلال البيض, it won't change. Distilled water, مياه مقطرة, it won't change. Any other thing, it won't change. It will only affect the simple sugar. Here there's 3 test tubes. Only one of them is a simple sugar, so the other test tube, its color will not change. Only the one which is containing the glucose or the simple sugar, any kind of simple sugar, its color will change from blue to orange. Okay, so this is testing for the Bendick reagent. Okay, another experiment, it's the same thing. This is a glucose solution and this is the Bendick solution. Adding here drops of glucose, okay, by using a dropper, as you see here, and here we are going to add the Bendick solution. Bendick solution is a chemical substance used to test for the presence of glucose or simple sugar. And then we're going to add the Bendick solution. The Bendick solution, its color is blue, as you see here in this video. We're going to put in with a dropper, and then he's going to put it in a water bath or a boiling water. This is the blue Bendick reagent. Then put it in a boiling water. Here, adding it, shake the test tube, and then put it in a boiling water. Recognize that its color will change from blue to orange. Why? Due to the presence of a simple sugar, the presence of the simple sugar. Put it in by a holder. It will change gradually, step by step, until the color will be from blue changing to orange, passing by several colors in the middle. We will just wait for 5 minutes. If we have time in the school, we will going to do this experiment. And now there is a break red. Break red, it means طوبي اللي هو orange color. Okay, this indicates the presence of the simple sugar. And this is called water bath. If you use egg albumin زلال البيض containing protein or distilled water مياه مقطرة or any other kind, or better مثلا containing fats or lipids, the color of the Bendick reagent won't change, will not change, will remain blue as it is. Okay. Okay. Let's take another experiment, and this time we are testing the starch. The starch is a polysaccharide or a complex sugar by using the iodine solution, recognizing that the iodine solution color will change to dark blue. Okay, I think we did this before. here the egg albumin, زلال البيض. Okay, and here the starch, the batter, rice also containing starch. The rice also contains starch. In this table, the experiment using starch of the Pendic reagent, egg albumin, distilled water, and this we said it before. He is adding drops of the iodine solution. Here its color didn't change, it's water. In the rice, the rose, it contains starch, the color changed to dark blue. The starch in the potato, its color changed also to dark blue. Here, these containing starch, the color changed to dark blue. The batter, it won't change at all. الزبدة مش هتغير خالص. And also, I think this is sugar, so also it will not change. So the starch is used in detecting the polysaccharide, all kind of starch especially. Okay, changing to dark blue. Okay. The orange iodine solution reagent is used for detecting in different food. The orange iodine will change to dark blue. So here we have two live application, تطبيقات حياتية. Using the blue Pendic reagent is used to detect sugar in blood and urine. It means we can use the Pendic reagent. Its color change to bright red or orange if it's exposed to simple sugar. يعني البنديك reagent لما بيبقى فيه simple sugar لونه بيتحول زي الجلوكوز مثلا. لو في جلوكوز في الدم يعني الشخص ده مريض سكر. So we can use the Pendic reagent to detect it in blood or urine البول. يبقى if there is a glucose present in a high percent in blood or urine, we can use the blue Pendic, its color will change. Okay, and the orange iodine, its color change with the starch, which is found in different kind of food, and turn to dark blue. The diabetic اللي هم مرضى السكر and the obese patient اللي هم مفرطي السمنة must keep themselves away from taking sugary and starchy substance, because these two sources of energy, okay, they will going to be stored. For example, the sugar, as we are going to know now, it will stored in the liver in a form of glycogen, and these people will get for example the obese patient, they will get fat, okay, and the diabetic are exposed to the increase in the level of glucose in blood. Okay, but what are the importance of carbohydrates? Carbohydrate used in obtaining energy. Carbohydrates are one of the basic and the fast resource of obtaining energy. It means carbohydrate is the fastest source of obtaining energy. يعني for example, you can eat, for example, a piece of chocolate. It contains a high amount of carbohydrates. Or you can, for example, drink a juice of grape or orange. So it contains carbohydrate. You're going to have a fast source of energy. يعني الكربوهيدرات هو أسرع مصدر للطاقة، لكن مش الأكبر. يعني for example, the lipids or the fat give more amount of energy. يعني الدهون بتديني كمية أكبر من الطاقة، لكن علشان الدهون تتحول لطاقة ده محتاج وقت طويل مش سريعة. لكن بالنسبة للسكريات carbohydrate, it is the fastest source of energy. What else? Storing energy. Carbohydrates are used for storing energy in organism body until they are required. It means that the carbohydrates are stored, for example, in plant in a form of starch, and it's stored in human and animal in a form of glycogen in cells of liver and muscle. بمعنى ان السكريات يا ولاد بتتخزن في جسم الكائن الحي كمصدر للطاقة لو الجسم احتاجه. يعني مثلا بالنسبة للنباتات بيخزن السكريات الكربوهيدرات على هيئة نشويات في الورق بتاعه، وبالنسبة للحيوان والإنسان بيخزنه في الكبد أو العضلات على هيئة سكر بوليساكرايد اللي هو الجلايكوجين شوجر. Okay, what else? Building cell، في بناء الخلية. The carbohydrates are the basic component of some parts of the cell, such as يعني السكريات هي من ضمن مكونات الخلية. The cellulose found in the cell wall of the plant cell. The cellulose, it's one of the structure of the cell wall. Carbohydrate in the cell membrane and the protoplasm. Maybe you don't remember the cell wall. In the next slide I will going to explain this last point. يعني احنا مش فاكرين شكل الخلية النباتية بيبقى فيها حاجة اسمها السيل وول، جدار الخلية ده معمول من مادة السليلوز ودي بولي ساكرايد. سيل ممبرين، سيل ممبرين اللي هو الكفر surrounding the cytoplasm. It's also made up of carbohydrate and the protoplasm. طيب تعالوا نفتكر مع بعض. This is the cell wall, the cell wall, the one in green. Outside it's made up of cellulose. This is a plant cell. يعني دي خلية نباتية وده جدار الخلية الأخضر التخين ده وده معمول من مادة السليلوز. So the carbohydrate cellulose is a polysaccharide or a complex sugar. So the carbohydrate is used in building cell. يعني الكربوهيدرات من ضمن مكونات بناء الخلية لأنه هنا مثلا في الخلية النباتية بيعمل جدار الخلية. Type and also the carbohydrate used in the protoplasm and the cell membrane. What's the cell membrane? Do you see this black circle? This is called cell membrane. The cell membrane is surrounding the cell. It's the surrounding the cytoplasm and also in something called protoplasm. What's the meaning of protoplasm? Protoplasm is nucleus and cytoplasm together. Nucleus and cytoplasm is called protoplasm. So the protoplasm, the cell membrane and the cell wall are made of carbohydrates. So the carbohydrate is sharing in building the cell. يعني الكربوهيدرات بتشارك في بناء أجزاء من الخلية زي مثلا جدار الخلية بالنسبة للخلية النباتية وزي السيل ممبرين اللي هو برضو الجدار للخلية الجدار نمبر 2 في البلانت سيل ونمبر 1 في الانيمال سيل اللي هو بيحيط بالسيتوبلازم وفي حاجة اسمها البروتوبلازم. البروتوبلازم يعني النيوكليوس والسيتوبلازم مع بعض. What else? Incident energy posting food. It means eating an apple, eating a banana, eating a watermelon. This is the fastest source of energy. What else? The body store the carbohydrate in the liver and the muscle. يعني الجسم بيخزن الكربوهيدرات في الكبد وفي العضلات على هيئة سكر polysaccharide called glycogen. What's about the plant? The plant store the carbohydrate in a form of starch inside the leaf. اوكي يبقى نقدر نقول ان الكربوهيدرات بتعتبر مخزن للطاقة. بالنسبة للنباتات هي بتخزنها على هيئة ستارش في الورق بتاعها وبالنسبة للحيوان والإنسان بيخزن في الكبد والعضلات على هيئة سكر polysaccharide complex sugar called glycogen. Okay, let's start the questions. Which is the simple sugar and which is the complex sugar? For example, glucose is a simple sugar. Why? Because it's a monosaccharide. It consists only of one molecule of sugar. While sucrose, it's a disaccharide. Why? Because it consists of two molecules of sugar, which are glucose and fructose. Both glucose and sucrose are simple sugar. يبقى السيمبل شوجر يا ولاد السؤال ده بيقول لنا مين فيهم سيمبل شوجر ومين كومبلكس شوجر. المونوساكرايد اللي هو عبارة عن one molecule of sugar is a simple sugar and sucrose which is a disaccharide 2 molecule of sugar is also simple sugar. يبقى السيمبل شوجر يا إما 1 molecule of sugar وده بنسميه مونوساكرايد يا إما 2 molecules of sugar وده بنسميه disaccharide. What's about the polysaccharide? What's about the complex sugar? The complex sugar is more than 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a complex sugar, which is the starch. Okay, let's take another question. Okay, all the mineral salts contain, this is multiple choice. If you have the معاصر, you will find these questions in the معاصر and I will tell you which page exactly. You will find it in the معاصر page if you want to follow from your book. It's page 23. Okay, let's read the first question. All the mineral salt contain carbon atom. It means mineral salt, if you remember, is inorganic substance. Contain carbon atom. The mineral salt are considered an organic substance. Which statement is correct? Of course, both of them are wrong. The mineral salt doesn't contain carbon atom. And in the same time, the mineral salt is not an organic substance. So the answer is number D. All the biological macromolecule contain carbon elements. This is correct. All the biological macromolecule هي the polymer, all the organic substance. يعني كل المركبات البيولوجية الكبيرة اللي احنا قلنا اللي هم الفور organic substance carbohydrate, lipids, nucleic acid and protein, they contain carbon atom. Yes, that's right. Each chemical compound that contain carbon element is a biological macromolecule. نيجي للستيتمنت الثانية بيقول لي ان كل مركب كيميائي فيه كربون يبقى ده macromolecule، يبقى ده organic substance. طبعا غلط، بدليل ان الكربون دايوكسيد for example it has a carbon atom but it's not a biological macromolecule, it's not an organic substance. So the first statement is correct, as all the biological macromolecule or the organic substance has carbon atom. This is right, but not all the chemical compound that contain carbon، مش كل المركبات اللي فيها كربون بعتبرها biological macromolecule. As we said before, example carbon dioxide, it contains carbon but it's not a macromolecule, it's not a big molecule, and it's not an organic substance. So the answer is B and B. Let's take another question. Okay, this is the explanation. If you want to read it. As sodium chloride is a mineral salt but it doesn't contain any carbon atom. Mineral salts are inorganic substance. All the organic substances are macromolecules that contain carbon atom. This is right. But not all the chemical compounds that contain carbon are a big molecule as carbon dioxide. Okay, let's go to the next question. In the chloroplast, we said what's the chloroplast? Chloroplast is part in the plant cell, the green plastid. احنا قلنا ان الكلوروبلاست ده جزء في الخلية النباتية هو المسؤول عن امتصاص الضوء والفوتوسينثيز. During photosynthesis process, a large number of glucose molecule is produced and stored through a process called. يعني ايه بقى؟ يعني بيقول ان الجلوكوز زي ما قلنا من شوية بيتحول لستارش، زي ما كنت موريه لكم ان النبات بيخزن الجلوكوز او بيخزن الكربوهيدرات على هيئة ستارش. طب ازاي الجلوكوز يتحول لستارش؟ The glucose is a monosaccharide. This is the answer. As a glucose molecule is a monosaccharide. What happened to the glucose molecule? They join together. How? By polymerization to form starch and store in the green leaf all the chloroplasts. يبقى number 3, the correct answer is C. What's C? Polymerization. يبقى for the glucose to be stored in the plant cell, okay, the glucose during photosynthesis a large number of glucose is formed. أثناء عملية الفوتوسينثيز في كمية كبيرة جدا من الجلوكوز زيادة عن حاجة النبات بتكون، فالنبات بيخزنها ازاي؟ بيحول الجلوكوز لستارش. طب علشان الجلوكوز يتحول لستارش ده مونيمر والستارش بوليمر، يبقى لازم يحصل polymerization. Okay, number 4. The monosaccharide contain. We said previously that the monosaccharide contain, let's see the choice. The monosaccharide contain 3 to 6 oxygen atom. Number B, 3 hydrogen atom and 3 oxygen atom. 3 to 6 hydrogen atom, 6 to 12 oxygen atom. طب let's think about this choice. Monosaccharide, its definition that it contain، ركزوا بقى معايا، المونوساكرايد فيه من 3 to 6 كربون. يبقى المونوساكرايد فيه ايه؟ from 3 to 6 كربون. طيب تفتكروا كده معايا يا ولاد ان احنا قلنا number 4 in the monosaccharide the numbers of carbon atoms from 3 to 6. يبقى في المونوساكرايد ده في الديفينيشن بتاع المونوساكرايد ان الكربون اتوم بتبقى من 3 ل 6. We knew that the ratio is 1 carbon 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. يبقى معنى كده ان لازم الكربون عدده يكون قد الاكسجين، فانا لو عندي من 3 ل 6 كربون هيبقى برضو عندي من 3 ل 6 oxygen. So the number of the oxygen atom is the same as the number of carbon atoms from 3 to 6. يبقى الايديا بتاعت السؤال ده ايه؟ هو بيقول لي في السؤال، تعالوا نقرا السؤال مره ثانيه. دايما الاسئله التشويس دي نحاول يا ولاد نقراها بتركيز. The monosaccharide contain، المونوساكرايد اللي هو ايه؟ اللي هو مثلا زي الجلوكوز، اوكي، او زي الجلاكتوز. طب بيقول ان المونوساكرايد ده فيه ايه؟ احنا عارفين قبل كده من الدرس ان المونوساكرايد فيه من 3 ل 6 كربون. طب الكربون كان دايما العدد بتاعه زي مين؟ زي الاكسجين، والهيدروجين كانت دبل، يبقى it's the same from 3 to 6 oxygen. So number A is the correct answer. Let's take another one. If you know that the number of hydrogen atom in a monosaccharide is X، دايما الهيدروجين بتبقى double الاكسجين والايه؟ دايما الهيدروجين بتبقى دبل الاكسجين والكربون. So the number of carbon atom equal half x or x square or 2x or 3x. Of course it is half x. ليه؟ Because the hydrogen is double both carbon and oxygen. Number 6. The number of oxygen atom in ribose sugar. بص يا ولاد، الريبوز شوجر ده كان من الاكزامبل بتاع المونوساكرايد، وسميناه ايه؟ مونوساكرايد يعني 1 molecule of sugar only simple sugar، وسميناه ايه؟ سميناه بنتوز. يعني ايه بنتوز؟ كلمة بنتوز يعني 5 كربون. يبقى الريبوز شوجر ده اوكي فيه 5 كربون، والكربون عدده قد الاكسجين، فهو بيسأل عن number of oxygen، يبقى كام؟ يبقى 5. Again the number of oxygen atom in the ribose sugar. عشان اعرف احل السؤال ده ارجع للجدول بتاع المونوساكرايد، هلاقي ان من ضمن الاكزامبلز بتاعه المونوساكرايد حاجه اسمها ايه؟ رايبوز. طب احنا عارفين ان المونوساكرايد فيه من 3 to 6 كربون. طب هو الرايبوز فيه كام كربون؟ الرايبوز فيه 5 كربون. طب ما احنا عارفين ان الاستراكشر CHO، واتفقنا ان السي دايما بتبقى قد الاو والهيدروجين بيبقى الدبل، فwhat's the right answer? It is 5. تعالوا نشوف كده الاكسبلانيشن. We knew that the ratio 1 carbon 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. لاحظوا هنا ان دايما عدد الكربون ratio of carbon زي ratio of oxygen. So if the number of hydrogen atom is x، ده اللي قبليها بقى السؤال اللي قبليه it's double carbon so its number is half x. طب السؤال ده the ribose sugar is a pentose sugar. pentose يعني سكر فيه 5 كربون، دي معنى كلمة pentose. It means that it has 5 carbon and the number of carbon is equal to the numbers of oxygen equal 5 atoms. So C5H10O5. طب let's see number 7. Question number 7. Which of the following is considered a disaccharide sugar? Which one is a disaccharide? طب احنا عارفين ان المونوساكرايد من 3 ل 6، يبقى الدايساكرايد اكتر من 6، اكتر من 6 كربون. طيب دي مونوساكرايد. طيب تعالوا نشوف السؤال تاني. سوري، دي مونوساكرايد فيها 3 كربون بس، ودي مونوساكرايد فيها 6 كربون. طيب what's about this one and this one? he want a disaccharide. دي ما تنفعش لان الدايساكرايد بيبقى 2 مونوساكرايد، واقصى حاجه للمونوساكرايد 6، اقصى حاجه للمونوساكرايد 6. so the answer is number